1,000 yards. What's that mean to you?
I mean a lot. Just shows, the hard work that I put in, that me and my team put in, and, just stepping stone of mine, and we got to keep moving forward.
Has that been a dream of yours to get 1,000 in this league?
Always, man. Since I first got here, I feel like my rookie year I had the best chance, but I missed 5 games with 800 yards, so that's kind of like stuck with me. And then like last year I kind of fell short, so I feel like this year was one of them years that was something that I really wanted to accomplish.
What were you thinking late in the game as you're on the sideline and all that craziness is happening, a 2-point try going the other way, onside kick, and the defense has to get another stop as you're watching all this unfold?
I feel like, man, as an offense, we got to do better. I feel like we can't, we don't want to put our defense, in that position, even though they played a great game. But I feel like down the line, if we want to win big games, we got to step up.
How do you stay grounded through the success in the spotlight?
Like I said, like you said, it's gonna be, like you said, spotlights. It was a couple weeks ago when we was losing. It was, it wasn't. So you say, we just, it doesn't matter the outcome. We're gonna go out there and play the team, and we're not gonna let, the outside, when they know the comments, get in our head, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna play 100%.
What happened on the touchdown you scored to start it off?
It was kind of like blocked perfectly. I feel like the corner of the team, he kind of like overran it, and it kind of like made my job easy. It was kind of like, we knew we was gonna have like a guy unblocked, which is a corner, and him overrunning the play made my job easy, which just go through the hole and untouched, and that's kind of something you want as a running back. When you can get to the hole 5-10 yards untouched, I think any running back can say like that's what you want.
What was the touchdown celebration?
Just a little TikTok dance, but I'm not really into dancing, so I always ask like one of my teammates like, okay, what's the celebration this week?
Oh, so it was through a dance, but then you got nobody could tell, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it's some TikTok stuff.
Devon, the second half, basically one field goal from the offense. What was happening in the second half?
I feel like just mistakes, man. I feel like we got to capitalize on third down. And especially in the red zone, we got to score points. That's our motto, 7 out of 3, and I feel like we was in the red zone too many times, and we didn't score.
Anything else?
How do you keep the momentum going? Winners of 4 or 5, trying to creep back into that playoff picture.
Just win the next thing. Feel like next week, you guys keep building these wins, and like you said, we came out the bye week, so I'm glad we got that out the way, and now we just got to get back into regular football.
You have any other goals in mind on a personal level, 1,500 or?
Yeah, of course. Like you said, how many yards I can get. It's not like a thing. I just want to get 1,000 yards and that's that. If I can get 2,000, that's the thing. Like I've been saying, but just whatever. When the opportunity presents itself, I feel like, that's whatever it comes with that, then that's what it is.
How would you describe the identity of this team right now, the way you guys are winning? You got 298 yards today. You're a bunch of high-octane offense winning those ways. What would you describe the identity of this team right now?
I feel like, we want to be physical. Like you said, we come down, we come to the line. Everybody know we're going to run the ball, and I feel like we've been running the ball great these past 3-4 weeks. And as long as we keep that in, then that's when, they start stacking the box, and then that's when, 17 make big plays.
What do you think of Minka taking the 2-pointer back? Do you approve of his top speed there?
Yeah, most definitely. He for sure did better than Sewell. And yeah, so I think that for sure going through his mind was, not trying to get caught because, at halftime, we all had something to say to Sewell. So, but he made a play, man. That's just, Minka being Minka, and like he's a great player in this league, and he showed it.
How have you changed your approach in preparation, film study, or recovery this year compared to years past?
I wouldn't say nothing really just changed. I feel like, just us as a group, I feel like we just got better with each other. We got to understanding each other, and like for us, like, if somebody, was to miss a block or something, we try to make them right. You know what I'm saying? As far as like pointing fingers, we never point the finger with each other. Like, it's a football game. The other team, they get paid job, we get paid, and they're gonna make plays. So when they do make a play, try not to, be down on each other and be down on one another. Just make sure, tell them, all right, we're gonna get the next one.
Anything else?
If you had a pitch to the college football playoff committee for the Texas game, what would it be?
I know for sure we're going to be in the playoffs, but for sure I think, we should be in the SEC championship. We only lost 1 game. So however that play out, I feel like, that one loss at the end of the season shouldn't, like, determine, okay, like, they should be in the SEC championship.
Anything else? Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
So what do you think needs to go better with the offensive execution in order for a game as this one not to go be as close as it was at the end?
Of course. Definitely starts with me, starts with my performance, with how I distribute the ball, how I operate the guys. I would say that first, but I want to give our defense, a lot of praise. Also want to give a big shout out to Devon crossing 1,000 yards. That's also big as well. And then also want to shout out some of the friends I made at Joe DiMaggio, Eric, Selena. I see you guys. Just saying what's up.
Tua, can you expand on just how much Devon has meant to this offense this year?
Yeah, as I said in past interviews, he's so versatile, right? You can align him in a slot, you can align him in a receiver stance, in a running back position, you name it. Just the diversity that he gives our offense is what I think makes him very special, outside of the ability to run and catch.
What was the struggle most of the day, especially second half, what one field goal was the only from the offense? What was the reason for?
Yeah, I would say it's, it reverts back to how I'm playing or how I'm operating for those guys. When I'm able to distribute the ball well, the operation as well, the run game helps with that. And so, as I said, that starts with me. So,
How are you personally handling the momentum of this 3-game win streak without getting complacent?
I don't think there's room for complacency in the NFL. There's no room for any team to get comfortable, especially towards the backstretch of the season. And for our team, we don't have any room, for us to be enjoying too much. We got to dig ourselves out of this hole, but it feels good when you get to come off a bye week, little rust here and there, but at the end of the day, you get a win. It's always good.
What are you thinking as all that craziness is happening? A 2-point try going the other way, and then onside kick, they get the ball back, and all you can do is just watch, hope the defense gets a stop.
Yeah, you hope they can, and the beautiful thing is they did. They came through for us, and regardless of what that looks like, we won the game.
Are you happy? In these 3 games, you're kind of an efficient, not racking up big statistics, game isn't depending on you. Do you like this role?
Well, I like when we win. I think that's the main objective for, what I'm supposed to do as I go out there to lead that offense, score one more point or however many more points than the opposing team. So regardless of what that looks like, whether the game is asking of me to throw for a set amount of yards or however many touchdowns, I'm just more fascinated with the wins. So I'm glad we got a team win.
I don't know if I remember the last time Devon didn't catch a pass in a single game, only one target. Was that something that New Orleans was doing to take him away in the passing game?
I wouldn't say it was something that they were doing as much as it was going through the progression and, just seeing the field in that sense.
Have you seen a change in the confidence or vibes in the locker room winning 4 of 5?
For sure. Guys are always happy when you win, but just the camaraderie that we have, all 3 phases. Offense goes out there, we get 3 and out. Defense is coming to uplift us, like we got you guys, and then sort of vice versa, and then also with special teams. So it's always good when you can get into that rhythm and that flow as a team.
Offensively, you guys got back 2 starters in Darren Waller and Austin Jackson. Just what did you see from them out there?
Yeah, they were out there competing for us. I think they did a really good job. I wish I had one of those throws back with Darren, but outside of that, I think they played a great game.
What do you think was the struggle in getting Jalen the ball?
Well, I think they were trying to take him away. Talked a little bit to Staley after the game. We had a little conversation about that as well. So that was cool. And he had some pretty cool words to say after as well.
They took that pass into the end zone, the interception, was that, tell me what happened there. Was it
it was just a bad decision. That's all that was. Just got to be smart with the ball. You're good.
What'd you think of Minka's return going the other way on the to get 2 points for the team?
What did I think? I mean, that was a great play by Mink. Does it surprise me? No, I've seen him do that at Alabama, and then I've seen him do it against us in practice, throughout training camp. So to be able to see his hard work, show in tough and critical situations in the ball game, that's who Mink is.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, next.
Can you walk us through that pick 2 at the end?
We were in it was a double. We had a double on 12 and a double on, I think, number 2 to the field. My guy, I was in, basically zero coverage. My guy ran the shallow, slipped it and caught the ball.
Was there any talk with Rasul, like you show him how it's done to
Oh no, he's definitely getting fined. It was a great play, but he's definitely getting fined for not scoring on that play.
Wait, he's actually getting. I just saw him outside.
Absolutely getting fined.
Okay. I thought he was.
It's like within the DB room, we have like a fine system. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's definitely getting fined for that one.
Okay.
How much is the fine?
That's up for discussion.
He still made a great play too, though.
Great. I dapped him up. I said it's a great play, but you're getting fined. You know what I'm saying? Because we need as many points as we could get.
Minka, today the defense obviously making just big plays, pick 2, just all these things, getting to the quarterback. What does that say about that group in general that continues to perform in now 3 wins in a row?
Yeah, I think I really appreciate how much this defense has been fighting. We obviously had a really rough start to the season, and I think what I appreciate most is the fact that even through our downs and in our low periods, we were still sticking together. We weren't pointing fingers. We weren't worried about other guys. We were all worried about what we could do better, what I could do better, and everybody kind of took on that personality. We uplifted each other when we made mistakes, and we really focused on just getting better over these last 5-6 weeks. And we've been seeing a gradual incline, and we got to keep doing that same thing these last 5 weeks.
Could you walk us through the strip sack and what it meant to you to just keep being able to make plays for this team?
Yeah, I was rushing off the edge. They had a receiver kind of in the chipper area. I had a one-on-one with him. I beat him. Quarterback held on to the ball a little bit too long. I got to him, and that was actually my first NFL sack. So that was a big moment. I was pretty excited about that. So I'm just like I said, just excited to be out there moving around, playing different positions, and making plays for my team.
What's the mindset the defense needed going back out there again after you thought maybe you had sealed it? I don't know if you thought, but I think a lot of people did with the pick 2 and then onside kick is recovered and you have to go out there for another stop.
I mean that's just the name of the game. That's the name of playing defense. No matter how many times that we're called upon, we got to go out there and make stops. And I think really good defenses, whenever there's a change in possession or a turnover, they play really good defense during those next plays. And I think that we've been doing that the last few weeks, and getting the ball back to our offense.
Kind of odd that's your first NFL sack, and I mean you.
Yeah, I didn't blitz a lot in Pittsburgh, and then I had one, and I got called for unnecessary roughness. So it is what it is.
You kind of wondering.
And when you were making the pick 2, how fast do you think you were going?
Oh, not fast. I was tired. I was hurting. I looked at the jumbotron. I didn't see nobody behind me, so I just cruised into the end zone.
Were you kind of looking for that sack? Were you wondering when is it going to come, or?
No, I mean, whenever you get the opportunity to rush, you just try to do your job. And, thankfully on that play, I had a one-on-one with the receiver, a guy who doesn't block a whole lot, and I was able to get to the quarterback.
Was it your first 2-point conversion return?
I believe so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How have you personally grown as a playmaker over these last few games?
Over these last few games, I'm not sure. I think I just been trying to do my job at a high level, be in the right position, look at the right things. You know what I'm saying? I think early in the season I was, the couple plays that I gave up, I was trying to see too much. I was trying to look at too many things and communicate to too many people, and I kind of honed in on what is absolutely necessary to communicate and to see. And I think I've been playing better because of that.
Like all quarterbacks, is so much on Tua, and you know him as well as you do. And a day where he's not at his best, for the defense to really kind of bail out the offense, and especially him. What is that? How's that? What's that do for you to know that you guys had his back?
Yeah, honestly, we don't even see it as bailing them out. It's just doing our job. Kind of like what I said earlier. No matter how many times that we get called out there, we have to go out there and do our job and get the ball back to them. You know what I'm saying? Because there's games where he quote unquote bailed us out. You know what I'm saying? Where we were having down games and they put up 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Or 35 points. So it's just we got to continue to have each other's backs, and the ultimate goal is to be playing complementary football. But if that doesn't happen, we still got to go out there and execute at a high level.
Mike, third straight win. What does it say about the resiliency of this team?
I think it says everything. I think it's third straight, 4 or 5. There's been different formulas in the whole process, but you think you have the right type of guys, but you don't know until you know. It takes a galvanized group of people, talking about from just the locker room and the coaching staff being able to reach those players to be able to pull that off. And I think it does say everything about the guys that we have on this team, because it's easier said than done for sure. So you try not to, especially when you're preaching, for me, conviction over perfection to the nth degree to the team. You try not to get caught up in the style of victory, because these are the idea is to end the game in the stadium with more points than the opponent. And winning football games, you have to learn how to do it a multitude of ways. So when you're able to win, you learn from the negative, the positive, and the bottom line is we have more reason to stay together, more conviction, more belief every single time that you're in the victors column. So I'm very proud of the group, and I think it does say everything.
One constant, it seems, is Devon Achane, and now he has 1,000 yards in 12 games. Can you put into words what he's meant to this team?
No, he's we were relying upon him to not just be a good player, but to take a step in being a leader. And I think it's not just his play; he's much more vocal. He's we align him everywhere and ask him to do a ton of jobs, and he takes pride in being very, very on top of all of his assignments, and that allows you to do a lot of different things and keep people, off of the scent of how you're using them. He also does a lot of work without the ball. We send him on fake jet sweeps a ton to get other people involved, and understanding where he receives a lot of attention. I think the thing that makes Devon great is that he's not satisfied. He is confident, but he was, frustrated he didn't have 2 touchdowns with that pass in the second quarter, I think. And that's what you need from your best player. So I think he's taken a huge step forward in his game. He was already a dynamic player, but I think you're seeing a lot of confidence in him. He's making players miss a ton, but he's also getting some dirty yardage driving the pile, which is a big part of winning football. So I can't say enough great things about Vaughn. He's a very talented player, but more importantly, he's a hard worker with that talent. So you're seeing the residuals of that.
And your staff really emphasized establishing the run over the past, let's call it month. I think in your 4 wins, you're averaging like 170 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, I think it's something that we've always wanted to be able to execute, but there's a difference in want and being able to execute it. I think a gigantic part of it is the tonality with which our offensive line is playing. They're really attacking people and giving us opportunities to have some space for the ball carrier. They are doing a very good job at not wavering in confidence, playing all sorts of really good players. That's a salty veteran defense that plays a physical style of football, and particularly in the last month, I've seen the most physical football that we've had since I've been here, and that has resulted in more opportunities and more yards on the ground. So I think it's something that you're always, I think the Saints had a really good plan. They were very pass committed, and I think they had reroutes on Waddle every single snap. But when you do that, to get you're removing a run defender, so it's important that when guys get a ton of attention, that you make them pay, and guys did a good job staying true to that, and which accounted for some yards. We have some things to clean up, as you always do, but particularly we do have things to clean up in the run game. Situationally, we started better at the beginning of the season than we've had, and so guys are hungry because they want to be able to end the game with the ball, and you got to do that running the ball a lot of times. So good and bad, but overall the offensive line and the backs have and really all the core blockers. On top of, we've gotten some really good receiver blocking as well in the last month, so that all plays into it, and we'll look to continue that against a team that will try to stop it.
Minka's 2 points proved pivotal, as without them, then the Saints could have tried for a long game-winning field goal after the onside kick. Just your thoughts on the madness of the ending between that, the onside kick, the stop at the end.
Yeah, that was my. I'm glad he. We talk about it. It's been a while, maybe a month or two. But the rare, pick safety on a 2-point is, it was the second time that I'd been a part of it, but the first time that I was on the right side of it. We had one in 2016 where Eric Berry took one in a critical moment that proved the biggest differential. So it was gigantic, especially after he took a unbelievable undercut angle, and this is he was doing it from the slot position where nickels usually play. So I think it kind of speaks to who he is. He competitive greatness, being your greatest when you're being your best when your best is required, and he took an undercut angle, utilized his great ball skills, and he didn't hesitate for 1 second, which is, really helped after the onside, because they had to get in the end zone, and that changes everything. So big time players make big time plays for your team, and he came through for us.
You touched on the Saints game plan, but what made it difficult for Tua today, and then also the second half? What was the reason for the drop off in the offense?
Yeah, I think you're not gonna have. Yeah, ultimately in the pass game, there were some plays that weren't made that I wouldn't say Tua played his best game. There was some stuff that was him, like the pick. He could have thrown it to Darren Waller, but he also had what Devon would call a very catchable touchdown pass that he dropped, and we had another drop. I think Julian had one. These are big time plays that you got to come up with. So the guys know that. I did feel in the pass game, unlike the run game, I felt the bye week a little bit. That was a little frustrating, but we got to get. The whole point is you hope to have your improvements found in a win, or hope to find the things that you need to improve on in a win. And I think there was a multitude of herky jerky. I think we had a good drive in the third quarter. Was it the fourth? I can't remember. Where Tua hit number 3 in progression on continuous or back-to-back plays, and then we missed Darren in the end zone, and I haven't seen I just saw it live, and I'm 60 yards away, but I can't even attribute that directly to the necessity of the layered ball, or if Darren should have been able to feel that and kept his feet in bounds. So there's before I see the tape, I just know that it was a little herky-jerky in the pass game. There were some plays made in the second half by Tua, but there were some plays that we'd like to have back, and that's a collective for sure. There'll always be there'll always be plays that you want to do better on. The key is that we continue to work and get the best concepts for him that he's convicted, and then being able to build on some of those progressions that we had in the second half, so that we can have a at some point we're going to have to execute in the near future, because in the NFL you have success in a phase, or success in running the ball, and people will overcommit, and you'll eventually need to pass to win. And I think that will be a big thing that we'll be working on this coming week.
Were you aware that your defense on that 2-point conversion, they didn't get the call in because there was some sort of issue with the headset?
I was aware. I was going down to call a timeout, and then the conviction of T-Dot, the coaching staff thought he did ultimately get the call, because there was some headset issues at the end of the game. That wasn't the only snap, but I was ready. I was aware of the trying to get the call in, and then we all interpreted. I think it was on the false start, or the interception. The interception that we were convinced. I was about to call a timeout, and then at the last second, a couple coaches on the headset said, "No, he got the call. He got the call." And so then I walked back. So I was aware of the issue. I was not aware that that T-Dot called his own defense, but I think realistically, like we've said from the beginning, it's less about the play call, more about the conviction of the entire group on how you're playing it. So that's a Mike linebacker that's prepared, and a defense that believes in him.
To under 100 yards rushing today, just what did you like out of the run defense?
That was one of the keys to the game for us defensively. We knew there had been a lot of very tight games that they either won or were within one score or 10 points as a result of bleeding the clock out and committing to the ground. So we knew that they hadn't won with less than 100 yards rushing. So I'm happy that the guys, you could see the intent, you could see the ownership of gap responsible football, and guys were hitting. There was probably outside of the third quarter. I think it was the exact picture of what we were trying to execute going into the game.
Last question.
Coach, how do you keep the locker room grounded despite the strength, and how do you assess practice habits and the ball over the past few weeks during this workshop?
So that's easy. We have every inch that we've gained as a football team has been done with an urgency that has nothing to do with feeling ourselves or, I think the confidence is beneficial for sure, but I don't see guys really having their workflow affected, because that's what has created the momentum in it of itself. You get a little more worried about win streaks at the very beginning of the season because you don't know the gravity and despair of multiple losses like you do when you start behind the 8 ball. So I think that's the main thing is guys through the leadership council and the captains not wavering at all, and I'm not. That will be emphasized, but generally this team responds 2 points of emphasis. So, and then the second question. Okay, and that's been the main thing that gives me confidence with that, is because guys have really gone above and beyond. We've always been a hard practicing team, but with the intentionality to the details of things that decide winning and losing, penalties, or I think this game we had 3. That's a result of preparation, the conviction that we have both pre-snap and post-snap, and the communication. All of those things have really. It's probably the reason why we're standing here talking about 4 of the last 5 or a 3-game win streak is because of those habits. So I look for those to continue to gain momentum as we go down the stretch of this season with 5 games left, but that are guaranteed, and one opponent that I know of, which is the New York Jets coming. That first thing when I wake up tomorrow morning, it's the only thing I'll want to talk about. But I'll give the rest of the night for family time and Victory Sunday.
Appreciate it.